Phew, it feels good to have back-to-back wins. I know we had a few towards the end of last season. In fact, we had three back-to-back-to-back, but that winning feeling had gone. I just watched Peterborough 0, Luton Town 2. It feels good. It really feels good. Look, it's not a perfect performance, but ultimately we're at that stage of the season where it's it's early doors. There are, I think, 10 new signings. Some haven't even featured. The likes of Cohen Bramall, we're probably not going to see him for a while. But right now, points are important. And there's a famous quote. Before I even go into the team news or discuss anything that happened in the game, famous quote: a good team, a championship winning team, will win games even when they're not at their best. What we had today was, I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm not getting ahead of myself and saying Luton Town are going to win League One. There's a lot of football to be played. A lot of football to be played. A lot of players to get injured. By the way, how unfortunate was that linesman injury? No one's safe, are they? That was unfortunate. It's always a shame when a linesman gets injured. Strange, but it's a shame, but it's also quite funny. Sort of like seeing a clown being set on fire.
Hey, that was weird.
And I know they're people too, and they're just doing a job. But it's quite. I hope he's all right. I hope it's nothing too serious. Looked like a twisted ankle, but certainly can't be running up and down the line. Anyway, some of the new boys have featured. So Jerry Yates, that is an interesting one. I was sent a stat by Will, formerly of Luton Facts and Figures. He's a fellow trustee at Hatters Heritage. Jerry Yates featured today, and he's obsessed with these types of stats, weird and wonderful stats. So he said, we haven't had a player with a Y surname, a surname beginning with a Y, since October 1966. That is absolutely fantastic. So Jerry Yates is the first player with a Y surname who's played for Luton Town since man walked on the moon. I'll tell you what else happened today. That was the first away game we won by 2 clear goals since Rotherham, April 2023. That just goes to show how bad it has been at Luton Town. And yes, in that season, we were winning games 1-0 here, 1-0 there. But a culture of losing has just bled into the team. So right now, we need these rock at the back performances. They won't be inspiring, but ultimately, it is just a case of keeping things ticking over, keeping those points going. And you know what? Back-to-back wins, they breed confidence. And today, okay, I'm gonna kick off from the beginning of the game. Okay, so lineups announced, and looking at that lineup, it was pretty much what I would have done. In the first half, I think we got it a bit wrong, how we actually set up. So Keeley, Naismith, Anderson, Makosso, and then you have your wing backs of so is Ali on the left and Walters on the right. And Walters, obviously, he got taken off at half time, replaced with Longwick, and I thought Longwick did all right, and there was a bit of a change in the shape as well. Midfield 2 of Baptiste and Saville. How Saville didn't get a yellow card in this game, the mind boggles. It absolutely boggles. And then it was a front 3 of Wells, Yates, and Clark. And the big change that happened in the second half was Clark sort of dropped a bit deeper, sort of into the 10 role, so just ahead of the midfield 2. Just a word on Baptiste, I thought it was possibly his best game in a Luton shirt. The way he moves with the ball, it's fantastic. Maybe there was a moment where he should have taken a shot first time, and that comes with confidence. So in a while, I reckon we will probably get the full Baptiste, providing he stays fit, and that is a big if, because, well, we know Baptiste's injury records, but he came through this game and did absolutely beltingly today. But in the first half, it was a performance that was sort of encapsulated by lack of inventiveness in the final third. It was diagonals, long balls, but I have to say, the way we moved the ball in the other two thirds, very encouraging. It's movement of the ball that I'd admit that Rob Edwards himself would be proud of, because ultimately it was the type of football that he was looking to go for. In the second half, though, that's when we started to turn the screw and we were a bit more attacking. It really was a good performance. The first goal comes from a set piece. I don't know why Saville was taking the set pieces. I don't know why, although it was a good one, I don't know why we persist with this two-man set piece thing, because every single time Saville goes to take the set piece, and he's like sort of just pointing Clark away. He's like, yeah, go on. And then Clark's running into the area from a really weird angle. That is what I don't understand. The goal, the opening goal, Mads Andersen's goal, first goal of the season, first goal for him since West Ham in the Premier League season, and then he had a long injury layoff. I'm happy for Mads. We have a lot of centre-backs and potentially, a couple that could go, but I think at this level, he's definitely a very good player to have, especially while we wait for Mark McGuinness to get back to fitness, because I understand McGuinness was ill, he's lost a bit of weight, it's taking time for him to come back into the fold. But Mads right now is making it difficult for Mark McGuinness to potentially even make it back into the team. I mean, obviously he will get into the team, but it'll be a shame to see Mads drop. But there's a lot of football to be played. There are 3 cup competitions. There's the Virtue, the League Cup, and the FA Cup. So, well, providing we don't have like any mega cup runs, like in the Virtue Trophy, you've got all those group games, and we'll probably get out of those. So then there's a lot of football to be played, a lot of football to be spread around. But going back to the goal, it was very weird. It was sort of in slow motion. The way Mads Andersen, I'm not going to say breezed past his player, he sort of shuffled along, and then the header it was all really slow motion, but it was very brave of Mads Andersen. But I think it was absolutely terrible defending from Peterborough, and more on Peterborough's defending a bit later. There was one player that really impressed me from Peterborough, and that's Abraham Ado, and I think they signed him from Harrogate. He had a blistering season at Harrogate, and today I'd say he was probably their main threat. Their striker, do I even try and pronounce his name? Eindhoven. 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 He looks like he's all right. He's got good mobility, but ultimately, I think most of their threat came from Ado's blistering runs, and that is an aspect of our play that we're really missing. Like, we have it with Ali, but even Ali wasn't really getting that joy. You know who was getting that dribble success, especially in the second half? Makosso. Makosso went on some absolutely searing runs, and he even had an absolutely fantastic shot from the edge of the box. I mean, in the first half, he had that shot that I don't know how he missed that. He had a lot more time. Perhaps he didn't realize how much time he actually had, but Makosso had that shot, and it really made the goalkeeper, well, have a think, and he had to push it over. The second goal, in all fairness, I don't think it was ultimately completely the keeper's fault. It was a tremendous bit of pressing from Nahki Wells, but the defender really sold the goalkeeper so short. Essentially, never pass it. The rule that we've all been taught from playing football from such a young age, never pass it across the face of goal. But I think that's developed into never pass it on target. Because if your keeper fails to stop the ball, like or the ball rolls under the keeper's foot, like Pete Enkelman or Simon Sluga, Like Luton fans will remember what happened to Simon Sluga at Derby. The keeper did well to keep it off target. It was a terrible pass to the back. And he sort of moved it away from goal. Nahki Wells responded so quickly. The press has been so good. I know I'm just waffling on right now, but hey, I'm sure Editor Kate will cut this down in post.
I'm gonna cut you!
I'm enthused. I'm ultimately very, very happy with the fitness levels, the press. Everything looks like it's moving in the right direction. And yes, the football isn't entirely inspiring right now. But we'll see where we are in a month's time. Whether it's a case of grinding out results. It might not be the easiest watch, but ultimately I think Bloomfield has us going in the right direction right now. This is a team that needs to gel, and League One isn't as bad as you'd think. Sometimes you have a team like an AFC Wimbledon where you've got to beat a low block, and that's fine. And sometimes you'll have a team like Peterborough that will come out at you. But then there's another level of opposition. There's going to be Stockports. There's going to be Huddersfields. Those are the games where we get the challenge. But ultimately, our defence, I think, can stand up to the challenge. Look, it's 3 points on the road, 3 points in the bag. Yes, we haven't lost yet. We haven't conceded a goal yet. Creativity in the final third could be upped a little bit. But ultimately, we keep rolling on. Everyone, cheers. Have a good weekend. And most importantly, come on, you 3-point hatters. Yes!